Good to go.
All right. So thank you for joining me and for kind of helping out our, clientele, viewers, realtors kind of understand, kind of what we're all going through in the real estate market. Ralph and I field a lot of questions in regards to the real estate market as it is, and whether or not it's a good time to buy and sell their home. So I thought, what better way to answer all of those questions than to have you, kind of go through some of the questions that we field and just get your feedback on, some of the things that you're doing currently. So one of the top questions we had was, is this the right time to buy and sell? Is this the right time to be putting a house on the market?
Okay, so first of all, thank you for inviting me to chat with you. I've been doing a lot of Zoom calls and interviewing other people, so I was really honored when you gave me the opportunity to chat. So thank you. So I would say absolutely. Right now, there is the market right now is a seller's market. There is no properties that are really out there for buyers. And with this COVID-19, there are a lot of individuals that have decided to take their house and put it temporarily off market. There are buyers that are still out there that are looking for homes. And I have buyers that I'm putting under contract, that are buying homes right now. And what sellers aren't realizing is that you're going to hold off and wait. And when this ban is lifted, put your house back on the market, but so is everybody else. So there's going to be this influx of property where all of a sudden your seller's market, where you've got buyers that are competing with each other and you can get more for your home, you're now going to be possibly in a buyer's market where they're going to have their pick and choose, and they might not pick your house.
Okay, so that kind of leads into the next question. So how are you handling the sale of homes? Is that happening virtually?
Yeah, it's really cool. You know what? People have been virtually buying homes for many years. Relocations and things like that have happened where I've helped clients. Last year, I helped a woman from Florida by FaceTiming her. She never walked into a single house. Now, it's different this time around because real estate is considered non-essential and we as realtors aren't able to. But that doesn't mean that those sellers and the buyers can't virtually see the home. So sellers right now, the perfect example is we had a client that had to put their house on the market. And they did the photos for us. They did a video for us. And then the buyers, when they want to see the home, we can either Zoom like we are right now and actually physically walk through every aspect of the house, opening closets. And it's really cool because you've got the sellers and the buyers on a call together with the agents, so we're making sure that there's nothing disclosed or whatever, but they're actually learning more about the home because the seller's present.
Right. And, Ralph and I had discussed that, we always think about the people who have to transport. So let's just say you get a new job and you're in Arizona and you need to move to Philadelphia. But you can't physically be there to buy the house. I mean, this happens all the time where people buy homes and they've never stepped foot in it until the day they close and get the keys and walk in the house. So, but that's not the norm, and people don't realize that they still can be selling their house. So you answered a lot of the questions because, I was going to say, when the state does allow for us to resume our normal, whatever that may mean, activity, what did you anticipate, and what kind of changes did you see with the real estate market? What are you foreseeing when the ban is lifted, or when our stay-at-home order is lifted, I should say?
Well, I can tell you first off that nothing's going to go back to normal immediately. I mean, we have in Keller Williams, we've already got our checklist and everything in place in regards to, okay, seller, you have decided that you don't want to go on the market now and you want to wait for this ban. Well, here's the steps we're going to take in order to ensure that you feel safe allowing buyers back into your home. And then buyers, again, here's the expectations of, gloves and still social distancing and all those things that, Pennsylvania Association of Realtors has already presented to Governor Wolf what we're looking to do when we can go back, so that we can stay safe still and show homes properly, or in person. But with that said, there are things that we're learning that we can do. You know, you might have a seller that the couple can't get their schedules to work in order to meet with an agent to do a listing. Well, yeah, we've been doing a lot of listings through Zoom, and having those conversations with people and getting the information and having them give us the tour of the house. And we can virtually do that and then write up the information to give them get their listing active. And buyers may not want to go into homes even when this is released. And, you know, it might be that I'm able to go in and do that for them, so that they, again, have that rest assured of, oh, you know, we can actually get a look at the house.
So in a way, we're kind of, the real estate world has become just a little bit more accommodating without us even really realizing it, because now, like you said, someone who can't meet the realtor in person is now doing it via Zoom. It seems like this is kind of opening up. And I know that we feel this way as well with meeting clients face to face and taking applications. You know, there are still a ton of clients who want to meet face to face, and we always appreciate that and always want to accommodate. But now this added layer of, you know, we're not allowed to meet face to face, right? Or we shouldn't.
Right.
Now it's starting to, but it's kind of, it's helpful because now we're able to have additional hours, so to speak. We have more flexibility to meet with people. So I think
you're not driving back and forth and everything else. Right. So I think with a buyer's consult, instead of having to meet at the office first, get to information from them, set up their search, do all of that, and make schedules accommodating. I can do that now with a potential buyer. You know, you get them pre-approved. You tell me they're approved for $400,000. I can Zoom with them and we can get them ready right away, because realtors don't just go meet strangers on property. They shouldn't go just meet strangers on properties. You know, they meet first face to face, and this is another way to meet them more quickly and move forward more quickly for those buyers.
Right. And we are trying to, I think with the message we're trying to give is that, you know, even though this time is really scary, we're adapting and we're finding creative ways to continue to do business. And I think these creative avenues and ways of doing business are going to stay with us for probably a long time, if not forever. I mean, this is, I think, going to change a lot of things, especially the real estate market, for sure.
I would absolutely agree. And it's exciting.
I think it is. I mean, I know that there's a lot of stress around all of this, but I do see a lot of people in our industry adapting and, you know, virtual closings and, you know, or virtual tours of the house. And, you know, those creative avenues really only benefit the client, really.
Right.
But so I did want to ask you, so what is the day in the life of a realtor now? So what are your days look like?
You know what? My days haven't really changed. I mean, I'm a very social realtor. So, you know, in my world, I'm just not going to networking events directly. I'm now having Zoom calls with my different professional networks that I interact with. So I'm keeping in touch with all of those organizations. I'm still doing care calls and checking on the current clients that I have. I do have clients that are in the midst of selling their home, and I have clients that are under contract and looking for homes because now they're, you know, they sold well, they're not sold yet, they're pending and they're looking for properties. So they're keeping me busy with reaching out to other agents and saying, hey, do you have a virtual tour? You know, is your client willing to do a virtual tour? What we're finding, one of our roadblocks, unfortunately, is if a house is vacant, the other realtor can't do any real estate either. So they're not able to go into those vacant homes and do virtual tours. So, but it's just talking with other agents, and then, you know, I'm still doing, you know, all the other contractual things that I'm supposed to be doing. And then I'm generating new business. I'm still talking to people and finding out if they need things. And there are certain people that really do need to be educated that now is the time to sell. If they're even thinking about it, don't wait until this is over. And, you know, that's generating more business as well.
Yeah. And I was going, I was going to lead down the path of, if there was like 3 things that you could tell a buyer or a seller, what would they be? And one of them you've already touched on is don't wait to sell, because if you do, there's going to be this flux of houses on the market, and that, seller's market may no longer be the seller's market and may be the buyer's market. So what are 2 other, tips, or what advice you would give to clients at this moment?
Well, again, buyers that are out there, there is ways for us to, I just this week I had a client go under contract. The seller did a virtual tour. They got all of that. We have home inspectors that have received their waivers. Not all of them, but there are some that have waivers. So, connecting my client with their home inspector and having a direct conversation of, Mr. Home Inspector, I've not been in this house. Will you personally go to these areas that I have a concern of, and I just want to ensure the basement's okay, or this or that, and that home inspector going above and beyond and doing that for them, and again giving them the assurance of, yes, this is okay, here's video of it, here's all of that.
Right.
So it is possible for you to buy a home. If you see something and you're looking at the MLS and you're like, oh, I just wish I could get in there, I wouldn't cancel it out. There's a great, strong possibility that we can get you virtually through that entire home. And then you can not have to compete with all the other people that are waiting right now because they want to walk in right away. And then, a third thing that I would just say is that, there's a lot of people that are kind of just looking on their own. And I guess this is more towards buyers, but calling and talking to the person that's on the Zillow or the Realtor.com or whatever. It's really important that buyers have buyer representation and understand that when you're calling the listing agent about a property, they've already established that relationship with that seller. And although they might be able to do a dual agency, there's already been that relationship there. So a buyer has always got their best interest of having actual buyer representation by an agent that can speak to multiple agents on their behalf for them, so that they're not on their own hoping that they're getting the information that they're looking to see.
Yeah, we have had a few clients who have had an agent buy, they're the buying, they're agent for the buyer and the seller. And, we always tell anyone that we ever talk to that doesn't have a realtor, we always let them know that having a realtor is like having someone in the ring with you. And not that this is a boxing match by any means, but you need someone who knows the ins and outs of those contracts, that can spot things for you and have your financial best interest in mind. And it's really hard to do that with a realtor who's on both sides, because you really,
they're stuck in a hard place of, okay,
they really are, right?
I have to present this offer that I don't know my seller's going to accept, and then they might be mad at me. It's difficult to play on that side of the fence. So,
and Ralph and I have really just always been for the realtor. I know that people want to save money. I really think at the end of the day, that's what it is. And they think that they're going to be able to understand the ins and outs of the contract. And then when they get, to the thick of it, there's things that they miss. And that can cost them thousands of dollars if they don't know what they're looking at.
Well, and it's funny that you mentioned that, because for a seller, that is a for sale by owner right now, I think it's really important for them to know that they also cannot be showing their home right now. They can't be letting people in.
Good point.
And again, you might have a buyer's agent that has a for sale by owner, and the for sale by owner is willing to, work with the buyer's agent and everything else. But you right now, nobody should be going into anybody's homes, whether it's a for sale by owner or anything. It's just, let's stay safe and follow the guidelines that are currently out there.
Agreed. Well, I appreciate your time, and I'm sorry that our Facebook Live did not happen the way that I wanted it to, but those are the joys of technology, and I'm definitely not Facebook Live savvy, but I thought it would be easier than Zoom.
You looked beautiful on it while you were trying to figure it out all by yourself. I was watching.
It's great. It's great. There's so much anxiety behind Facebook Live because it's live, and that was the perfect example of why. So, but
Well,
thank you very, very much. I appreciate your time. And if we have any questions, you know, on the post of this, I will make sure that, you know, we're both facilitating the questions and letting them, you know, the clients know that they can continue to ask us questions even though this isn't live.
Yeah, and if I just may, if anybody has any questions, my name is Shelby Miller. I am with Keller Williams Realty Group, and I'll quickly throw you my phone number, which is 215-892-2178, or shelbysellsHomesPA@gmail.com.
Perfect. And then I can also link that in the, you know, comments below the post.
I truly appreciate you, and I'll give you a shout out real quickly before we get off the phone or get off the Zoom. Guys, I got to tell you, Candace and Ralph are absolutely phenomenal. I refer to you constantly. You guys really always take care of my clients, and I, again, treasure both of you. So thank you for the opportunity today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. All right. Take care.
All right. Thank you.